I'm Tchikatilov and I am a Selkirk sponsored pro, and here's my story. So I started off playing soccer, tennis, baseball, basketball, kind of a little bit of everything. And then I would say that after middle school, when I had a huge growth spurt, I started focusing on basketball. I really wanted to play in college and potentially overseas professionally, so that was kind of my dream. I got a scholarship to play in Rochester. My journey shifted. I felt like basketball was taking a huge beating on my body and I really wanted to explore other interests that I had. I actually stopped playing like all sports, or at least regular sports, and then I really got into lifting. So powerlifting, kind of the mindset of I just want to find out how strong I can get and just lift as much as I possibly can. So after that, I started playing spikeball with my friends and I realized I could be good at it. It was fun. It was a really new sport. So I'm like, maybe I could give it a go and try and play pro. So I did that last year and ended up getting to top 20 in the world with my buddy Hayden. And that was super fun. And then in the middle of spikeball season, I found pickleball, kind of the same concept. It was a lot of fun, very social. I loved it, and I thought with my length and athleticism and speed, I could transition really well from spikeball onto pickleball. So I started playing a lot of pickleball and was like, hey, I think I'll give it a go playing pro. And last year actually was my first legit PPA tournament. I played 4 or 5 singles. And so it's kind of coming full circle now. I've been playing pro for 6 months, but the pickleball for about a year now. And now I'm here playing pro and I'm having the best run of my career so far. So yeah, so I love Selkirk. One of the ladies that I first started playing with on Amelia Island, who saw my potential, thought she could hook me up with Selkirk, and she kind of had a relationship with one of the regional managers. And so I started talking to them and trying their paddles out. And once I started to play more and really commit to it, I started having conversations with the Barnes brothers. I just thought it was a wonderful fit because for me, pickleball is just a part of my path. I'm in school to be a chiropractor and I want to be a doctor, and I'm planning on graduating in 3 or 4 years and doing pickleball at the same time. But I'm a nutritionist and personal trainer, and they basically were telling me that they would help market me as a nutritionist and help me spread my message as far as how I live my life, holistic wellness, nutrition, and things like that. So I just hit it off with them. I just found them to be very easy to work with, very responsive, and I think those are some of the things that separate Selkirk. Is number one, just that family feeling of being part of the Selkirk fam, and then also you just feel like you're being taken care of, and it's also a great network too. When you're at tournaments and you're meeting new people within the organization too, it's great to just meet people and vibe. I was going to chiropractic school in Daytona, and near where I was living, I saw a bunch of people playing rec games. And I was like, hey, this is a fun game that I could play with family, friends. I didn't think it was a legit sport, but my mom was recovering from a traumatic brain injury at the time, and I knew racket sports were really good for the brain. So I figured, hey, let me get a beginner set, and when I go back home to North Florida, bring her a wooden set and try and play with her as part of her therapy. So I got into the sport out of love for her and trying to make it part of her rehab. And then once I started playing at the local courts where she lives, people saw my potential and they're like, hey, you should play against so-and-so and you could be really good. And then I started practicing with a senior pro guy, and he's like, hey man, you could really give this pro thing a run. And I believed in myself, and I probably 2 or 3 months after I started playing, I was like, all right, I'm gonna commit myself and put more time and energy into the game. And then yeah, I started playing pro probably 4 or 5 months after playing. Having played in Oklahoma July and getting second, I knew I could come back and win it, and that was my goal. I was like, I want to win this thing, and I don't just want to win, I want to win every single event. I have good partners, I know I can do it. So it was kind of crazy, the Dallas one that I won, because I didn't even play with my original doubles partner. The hurricane was about to hit. I had to change my flights, redo a bunch of things, but the universe wanted it to work out. So I ended up getting there. Another kid who wasn't originally gonna play was on the fence about it, realized that I was available to play with. So he's like, okay, I'm gonna drive down from Illinois. So his family comes down and he ends up playing the next gen. And so I was so grateful to him that he played doubles with me. It was just so fun, really. I just felt like that was my best event for just putting it all together as far as mixed men's and singles, because it's all different, right? But I felt like my level of play was consistent, and I felt like I got stronger as each day went on. And part of that's just my knowledge as far as like recovery and nutrition and how to stay mentally focused, because it's hard to stay locked in and day out. And that's one thing I've had to work on, because when I first started playing at the pro level, playing all 3 days was tough for me, and I felt like my level of play was kind of declining. as each day went by. So after winning the mixed and squeezing the gold in the men's doubles, I'm like, okay, I set myself perfectly for the Triple Crown. That was my goal. I had been visualizing that moment of just winning the trophy, everything, trying to play it in my head like I had already done it, right? So when it came to singles day, it was just smooth was the best way to describe it. I just felt like I was in rhythm. I had a tough battle with Jack. I remember I played him a couple of times. I played him today again. He's such a good competitor. I pulled it out against him, I think, in the winner's bracket final. After that, I felt like I had so much momentum. I was like, I don't care who comes back to play in the finals. Like, if I just play my game, I'm good. And then I took care of business in the gold medal match and won gold in that. And that was kind of just like icing on the cake. To win the whole thing, to Triple Crown, and to just play consistent day in and day out was really awesome for me. I got into it, I would say, in college, because for the first time ever, I was playing basketball, balancing a heavy course load. I was pre-med at the time, so a lot of stuff was going on, stress was high. I had been mindful of my nutrition because both my parents are athletes and they taught me the basics, but I didn't realize how important nutrition was for performance and just also mindset and how you're training. And so when I was playing college basketball, I had experience lifting and I had a trainer of my own growing up, so I was actually in there teaching other people how to lift who were a little bit more inexperienced, and I was one of the stronger guys on the team as a freshman. So I realized I had this passion for coaching, and especially strength coaching and then nutrition, because I realized the link to how I felt and my energy levels and everything like that. So once I decided to stop playing basketball and move to Florida, I had more time on my hands. So I really dug into nutrition. I did a lot of certifications, and I got my first personal training job in a commercial gym. So I was working with clients at 19 and training them, and then for some of my clients where the needle wasn't moving, I realized, okay, nutrition is also a huge piece. So I really dug into that, and I ended up getting my master's in nutrition and functional medicine. I love nutrition. I realized how important it is for health, and just the combination with movement and mindfulness and everything else I think is gonna complement my chiropractic degree really well. So to answer your question, my final goal would be to have my own wellness center where I have a bunch of different doctors and healers working with me to help people with chronic diseases, people who are athletes who are looking to up their performance, and just from all walks of life, man. I just want it to be preventative wellness. I want people to just go there to just keep maintaining themselves and feeling healthy and feeling like they have boundless energy, right? Like I don't want it to be like where people are reacting and okay, like now they don't feel well, so they want to see the doctor, but like, and that's fine, like I understand that, but I want people who are just motivated to take control of their health, and kind of like my mindset is with it, just do everything in your power every single day and really dial in your self-care routine so that you don't end up really having to see the doctor for not feeling well. I think the atmosphere is great, the crowd's into it. For me personally, I had a couple of friends who are also in Florida come down, make the trip to cheer me on, and it's great because I've been in Florida for a couple of years, so I've made connections with people at tournaments and just teaching pickleball, so I have some of my clients coming to cheer me on, and just some people who are also playing at the amateur level, St. Pete, where I'm from, cheering me on. So it's really a great event. I think the venue's awesome, so many courts, it's been running really efficiently today. The reps have been awesome as well, and they're really taking care of the players. They have a nice lounge. I've been going in there to chill after all my matches. Yeah, they just have all their bases covered, and I love the hospitality. So it was the first paddle that I started using. Well, actually, after I started with the OG Vanguard, and then once they started coming up with the Labs paddles, and I was like, I want to try the 002 thing. And the Selkirk guys thought I'd like it. I started hitting with it. It made kind of a weird sound at first, but I liked how poppy it was. And then once I figured out the weight for me, it just had the perfect blend of spin, power, and just control. And for me, I just need a consistent paddle. Like I need to know what I'm getting with it. And between doubles and singles, it just keeps performing. It's just solid. Maybe I'll try out the 003 after this tournament when I have a little off season and check it out. But yeah, I'm gonna keep rocking with the 002 because it's doing well for me. I love pickleball mostly for the community. So I think that pickleball is a lifestyle, and a lot of people who are playing are athletes from other sports and stuff like that. And it's just such a friendly community. Like I've made so many friends through the sport, and just traveling to these tournaments, meeting new people and seeing the same faces, I think it's such a beautiful thing because I'm trying to grow my tribe, right? It's fun to compete and all that, but I really love the people, and I think that enhances the overall experience of it. So yeah, I just love pickleball and how social it is. And even at the highest level, you're still buddies with the top guys, right? And you can compete and grind and yell at each other, but off the court, you're joking around, laughing, and and having a good time. So yeah, I love the community aspect. So my ultimate goal is to be the best player that I could possibly be, and I'd hope to be top 5 by next year. That's one of my goals, and I'm going to work really hard and travel a lot more to achieve that goal. But also Major League Pickleball is another big goal of mine. Just playing in the minor league event a couple weeks back was so fun. I never played that team event, and just the energy was electric, and I just feed off of that. So I just feel like I'd be a perfect fit for MLP, and I'm all in as far as traveling and doing this thing. I'm young, and I feel like I'm kind of at my peak as far as health goes, and I take care of my body, so I think I'll have a long career. But right now I feel like I'm hitting my stride, and I'm only going to get better and better. So yeah, just maximize my potential is the ultimate goal.